edition of the Bird's Nest. I am here with Mikey and Ush today. We're gonna do a quick few game picks, give some fantasy advice before the 1 o'clock kickoffs, and some of our best bets.
Yeah, beautiful day for some football. Great slate on the board today. I mean, some of these games are really amazing. We just want to give some rapid fire picks, some of our best player props or best bets, locks, fantasy start sits. Should be a short one, just to get something out before the kickoff, get our thoughts out. But I'm ready to talk some football. I've been waiting since 8:30, juiced up today. We got a big game. Pretty much in every game, we'll start off with not that big of a game with the Giants and the Browns. Deshaun Watson against the Giants. Spread at 6.5. You want to go on a Giants tangent?
Not really, but if we could get pressure on Watson, we'll keep it a game. If Jones takes care of the ball like he did last week, expectations are low. To be honest,
pretty much gotta be.
A win would be nice. A loss is expected.
Pretty much all you can say.
Yeah, next game. Really no tangent.
Wait, we got to give a game pick. I think the Giants are excited to see some man coverage this week, though. I think that zone kind of hinders at Daniel Jones' ability. He'll be able to get his legs going. I like Giants plus 6.5 on the road. No lie.
Yeah, I took our spread too, honestly, and I think that's a good point. If they play more man, that definitely benefits us. Just because we're a little bit faster in the outside with our receivers, and Neighbors learns. He's going to learn from last week. It's not a great game.
Hopefully it's another breakout game for Neighbors. It looked fucking awesome last week.
Yeah. I mean, if they're in a man, expect a lot of crossers, a lot of drags. So Wandale and Hyatt, they're speedy guys, so they could get him out in the open. It's just blocking Myles Garrett's going to be a problem.
I think the Giants are going to take advantage of those one-on-ones. So I think they'll be able to throw the ball pretty effectively. I got Giants 6.5. Drew has Giants 6.5. Ush?
Giants 6.5.
Clean sweep.
And they're not going to
very low. 39 points. Low as fuck.
Low total, yeah. So we got a Giant sweep.
15-12 win for
We'll head into the next one. Rapid fire picks. Bears, Colts, 1.5 spread. Colts at home.
Yeah, the Colts are a very interesting team. You saw them fight the Texans so hard. Then they played the fucking Mooney Willis last week, and their offense is just non-existent. I think they rely very heavy on the defense, but I could see this being like the first steps to Caleb Williams' breakout today. I love his passing yards at 210, and I think this is the perfect game to do it on the road in the dome. I like Bears plus 1.5.
Drew?
The Colts offense didn't impress me at all, and Anthony Richardson didn't impress me at all. I wonder if this could be a bounce-back game. Steichen's a good offensive mind where I think he could get his offense straight, and I'm still not a big fan of the Bears yet this year. I'm going to take the Colts and pick them, honestly. Yeah, I think Anthony Richardson's going to play a little bit better. Hopefully they run the ball with him a little bit more. They haven't really been doing that too much this year. But, I'm going to take the Colts and pick them.
Yeah, also with the Colts here, I like Caleb Williams, and I do think he will be the first rookie quarterback to throw a touchdown pass because I don't think Bo Nix will throw one this week either, and Jane Daniels plays tomorrow. So I like the Colts by the 1.5. I think at home, Anthony Richardson seems to play a lot better. I think Steichen, I agree with you on that. He's a great offensive mind. He'll seem to get his guys open. Plus, they get Josh Downs back this week to open up the receiving core. Like a lot of things I see with the Colts, they've lost 2 real close ones. I could see this being one of those teams where it's like they're just losing all the one-possession games. So, yeah, I like the Colts in a close one at home. Caleb Williams, I want to see him. I want to see that test, though. I want to see if the offensive line will be able to hold, especially on the interior. But, yeah. Colts for me and Drew, and Ush on the Bears. So we go to the 2-0 matchup, one of the few this week. Texans-Vikings in Minnesota, 1.5 for the Texans.
There's a fire.
I'm going to cut you off real quick. Before we move on, we just want to shout out Woj. Big shout out to Woj.
Legend.
Yeah, big shout out to Woj.
Absolute
Sports journalism legend.
legend. We
Yeah,
all
sports
look up
journalist
to him.
legend.
We're going to wish him a happy retirement and enjoy being the manager of the St. Bonaventure Bonnies men's basketball team.
I always root for them Bonnies. I always root for them
Always root
Bonnies.
for them.
Bonnies. So,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Shout out Woj.
This makes me push for them a little more. But
Yes.
Stroud versus Darnold. Just a little top 10 QB matchup. Are we ready to put Darnold up there? Chill. But
let's chill on that.
let's
Really
chill.
get the Giants up.
Short favorite for the Texans. Usher, I want to hear your thoughts on this line.
Yeah, this is Diggs' first game in Minnesota since 2018 or maybe 2019, I want to say. But yeah, it's been
Is it really?
it's
Yeah.
been over 5 years. This is a really interesting matchup. We saw Minnesota move that ball on the fucking Niners D. So I don't think they should have like that hard of a time versus Houston. But dude, I fucking love this team, dude. Sam Darnold looks fired up. Like everyone there. Give me a Minnesota money line, just outright. Give me Minnesota at home.
Wow. That team plays. They do play tough. That is an underrated environment in Minnesota. That
Dude,
Skol
it is.
chant, it gets in
It
your head,
really
bro.
is.
Those fans are fucking there every game.
They are there every game.
Yeah.
Drew.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the Texans in this one. I think they're just a better team. And I mean, look, the Vikings just definitely came out and shocked us the last 2 weeks. I mean, the Giants game was to say it's a shock, but still. Yeah, I just think they're a better team. I think Stroud comes out firing. Diggs, now knowing that Diggs has his first home game back in Minnesota, I think he'll come back a little bit more motivated. So, yeah, I'm taking the Texans in another pick 'em.
I like the Texans here too. All eyes on Stephon Diggs and his return, but I think Tank Dell's the guy that's really going to have a good game. He's been getting open, and they've been trying to get him the ball in a bunch of ways. It just hasn't seemed to have been working. He dropped a bomb that would have been like a 60-yard touchdown last Sunday night. Didn't catch the end of that game, but yeah, I like the Texans here in a bounce back spot. Not a bounce back spot, but I think their offense looked a little bit slow last week. I think they come into Minnesota, play really well, handle the crowd. Give me Houston -1.5, and a Tank Dell big game. So,
Should I start take down the lineup against Patty this week?
I don't know. I didn't look at your lineup yet, but
Yeah,
I'll let you know. This is probably the best game of the one window. Saints Eagles.
This is
Saints
a-
at 2.5.
I am very excited for this game, and I think the Saints win this game.
I agree with you.
I mean,
Honestly.
dude, shout out Derek Carr, dude. I know, like we were talking about the other day, that there has been a murder in New Orleans in like 19, 20 days. That's fucking awesome, dude. That fucking team is saving lives right now. But yeah,
That team is saving lives.
I'm gonna roll the home team. Give me Saints -2.5.
Yeah, I think this is one of the places that are very hard to play at for the Saints. Drew, you got a pick?
I'm taking the Saints. The Eagles did not impress me last week, offensively and defensively, especially in the end of the game. 2-minute drill, it looked like they just fell apart. I think Barkley's gonna have a big bounce back game. He's gonna get over that drop, but I'm still gonna take the Saints. They've just been so high. I don't know if that defense is gonna be able to stop Alvin Kamara today.
Yeah, that was one of the matchups I had that I was highlighted. It was a key matchup. Can the Eagles defense stop Alvin Kamara and the Saints run game? Which honestly, a team that didn't add a lot, but it's seeming like they're getting insane production out of their run game, which is opening up so many things in their deep passing game, which Carr has always been able to hit those deep balls. It's just been like, can he take care of the football, this and that? And I think the Eagles secondary is a little weak. I honestly think the entire Eagles roster is a lot weaker than people think. So I think the Kobe Dean looks really good, but I don't trust the Eagles to be able to stop the run on the road. I'm leaning Saints -2.5 and another clean sweep for us.
Yeah. Before we go to the next game, thoughts on Jalen Hurts with AJ Brown and thoughts with Jalen Hurts without AJ Brown? Because I saw an analyst talk about it.
I thought he played fine last week.
I also thought he played all right last week.
And he ran the ball fucking amazing also.
And I think he knows that he's going to have to use his legs a lot more without AJ Brown. I mean, he is a man coverage killer. So is Smitty, but it's a little different because Smitty kind of abuses a cornerback too, as pretty much a wide receiver 1 on 30 NFL teams.
Yeah.
I think the problem with Hurts without AJ Brown is it's tough in the red zone to spread the ball around to those pass catchers because after Smitty, it's weak. Jahan Dotson, say what you want, he has not been a good wide receiver, not at all. So I think I think AJ Brown is a necessity for this offense. He does cardio. He pretty much does cardio.
And this is also a CJ Gardner Johnson revenge game.
Oh yeah, this is CJ Gardner Johnson revenge game.
Very good point.
You guys have any more thoughts?
No, but I'm really hyped for that game. Though I think this is the real test to see if they're legit or not. The Saints.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. This is a big test for them. At home, they need to get that win if they want to keep rolling to 3-0. So, moves on to another battle of the undefeateds. We got the Chargers and the Steelers. Kind of a surprising 2-0 matchup here, but at Pittsburgh, I want to hear your guys' thoughts.
Yeah, this game just like yells like 60 minutes of like hard smash mouth football. Two of the most respected coaches in the league. They just want to fucking run the ball as much as they can. I'm excited for this game. I'm loving Najee over 52.5. The line is. I think he could smash that easily, but I'm gonna go Pitt money line.
Wow.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I'm gonna take Pittsburgh too. Yeah, I mean the under's at 35.5 right now, and I'm very tempted to take it.
Herbert is playing.
Herbert is playing, but he is hurt, which hopefully means more handouts for J.K. Dobbins, who's had an unreal start to the season. I'm hoping he stays healthy. He's looking back like college J.K. Dobbins, which I absolutely hated watching because he ripped up my defense, but he was a fun player to watch in that way. But yeah, I'm still going to take the Steelers. I just think their defense is just too good. And Fields, he gets the job done. He does enough to get him a win, and he's done it the last 2 weeks. But yeah, low scoring game, maybe 15-7, something very small, 15-10. But yeah, I'm gonna take the Steelers money line.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised that I'm the only one taking the Chargers here. I like the Chargers a lot because I think this is the biggest test for the Steelers' offensive line to date. They were the question mark of the offense coming in is can pass pro hold up for Justin Fields or Russell Wilson? I think Justin Fields is starting today, but I like the Chargers a lot, man. I don't know why. I think Harbaugh, this team looks completely different. And a roster that is not talented whatsoever compared to probably even previous years that Brandon Staley had. I think the Chargers look like a team that could compete for the AFC West title. I don't think they'll beat the Chiefs or anything like that, but I like the Chargers on the road. I don't think it matters that they're on the road here and smash mouth football for 60 minutes. I like Harbaugh in those games. Think heavy set. I think that's kind of his thing. It's Arthur Smith's heavy set versus Jim Harbaugh's heavy set on the offensive side of the ball, and I'm gonna lean with Harbaugh in probably a game-winning field goal of some sort, and probably around a 16-13 win.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I don't see a lot of points in this game at all.
But it's good to have that smash mouth football, especially because it's getting. I don't know about you guys, but it's getting a little bit colder here. It was like 62 this morning.
Dude, it's so hot here, dude. It was fucking like.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's been really nice here too. Like even when I was tailgating yesterday, I was sweating my ass off. Like it was hot.
Yeah, I don't know. Guess that New Jersey breeze. I don't know, but that's enough for this one. We got Bo Nix going to Tampa Bay to play Todd Bowles and the Buccaneers.
Yeah, dude. If the Bucks play anyway like they did last week, I think this game could get ugly. I'm honestly surprised it's only a 5.5 point line at home also. But Bo Nix, dude, I don't know. I feel like they really have to run the ball more to take less pressure off him, and just they got to find a way to get him going somehow.
Yeah, I mean, Mike, I remember you and me talking about Bo Nix over the summer a bunch and arguing with our Broncos fans. And, we kind of said a couple weeks before the season started that he's been playing better in training camp from what we saw, and it just really hasn't translated yet to on field. Yeah, I mean, I take the Bucks in a blowout. I just don't think this Denver team's that good yet. They don't have an offense, honestly. Like Sutton isn't a guy that you could get the ball to 7-8 times a game. Like for him to make an impact, it's going to be those 3 to 4 times 50-50 balls, and they just really haven't been able to do that yet. And excuse me. And honestly, this Buccaneers defense is really fucking good. Like just as they've been in this year. So I'm gonna take the Bucks and a blowout. You could honestly change the spread a little bit there too if you want.
Yeah, Bo Nix has thrown the most passing attempts in the NFL. Not a way you want to settle your rookie quarterback in. So I completely agree with us. You got to run the ball more. In game, they've been pretty close these games with the Broncos. So I think that the Buccaneers defense looked electric last week. Yeah.
Jeff,
We're getting interrupted by Aiden Hutchinson.
Jeff.
Yeah, it was my dad. But what was I saying? Yeah, Broncos, they have no chance in this one. This is going to be a blowout. What I do want to ask, I'm taking Buccaneers 6.5, but what I want to ask is Baker Mayfield an MVP candidate after 2 weeks?
Early, yeah.
Yes. Just based off the last 2 weeks, yes, you have to throw him. Same thing with Derek Carr. You both, like, just based off the last 2 weeks, you throw him in that conversation.
I wouldn't say he's an MVP favorite after 2 weeks, but he could be there.
Yes,
I think those weapons,
he's up there for number one.
those weapons are pretty easy to get the ball to, and the offense looks like they're gelling. Right now.
I mean, especially with Chris Godwin, I think he's a huge impact to this offense. He's looking like Chris Godwin from a couple of years ago, where he's just catching a shit ton of those quick screens on like those RPOs, and he's getting 7 to 15 yards on them. And with Surtain probably going to be on Evans on the outside, expect a big game for Chris Godwin too.
Yeah, he's been looking like his old self a lot. He's been getting a lot of volume, doing some good things after the catch. Kind of torched the Lions last week on a big play. So, yeah, I think the Buccaneers are a surefire bet today. I don't think the Broncos stand a real chance at all. We'll go to Packers-Titans. Malik Willis revenge game, even though he is starting today. So, at Tennessee. Tennessee is the favorite by 3.
Yeah.
I was surprised by this line, honestly, but I guess they just don't trust Malik Willis. Like, Vegas just doesn't like him. But, yeah, I mean, this is a big game for Will Levis, like, just for him himself. He has to prove that he can't, like, to not get benched in this game because he's made some pretty stupid mistakes over the last couple of days or last couple of weeks. One thing I do want to throw out, and I saw this on TikTok, Gia Duddy, his ex-girlfriend, has a new boyfriend, so he might come in a little bit motivated.
Classic Drew intel.
Yeah,
I was going to ask you that. Will Levis have another egregious turnover for absolutely no reason tonight?
I mean, will he? Probably. To be honest. I think the coach has done his shit. Who's the head coach of the Titans again?
Brian Callahan.
I think Callahan's done with his shit. I mean, I'm still gonna take the Titans money line. I just don't think Malik Willis is good enough yet. But that's my pick.
Dude, there's honestly no reason that Tennessee isn't undefeated right now. They've shot themselves in the football game. That Bears game, I don't know how the fuck they lost that game. And Levis pulled again last week versus the Jets. So I don't know. But the Packers looked fine with Willis. Obviously not as good as they were with Love, but that defense is very solid. Josh Jacobs been running like he has a chip on his shoulder, dude. He's been running fucking hard. That O-line's been putting in the work. I don't know. It's a really sus game. Give me Tennessee on the money line. I think they finally get one. Finally.
Yeah, I'm trusting Vegas here purely. I think the line's this for a reason. And Malik Willis didn't show that he could like air the ball out or anything. But the Packers have a lot of weapons. They definitely have a lot of guys who can get the ball too quickly and give some problems to Tennessee. What I want to say is Tennessee's defense has looked pretty stout, and I don't think they lost a lot roster-wise. Jeffrey Simmons always been a dog, and they picked up Snead, obviously. So I like Tennessee in what should be a pretty boring game in my opinion, but sneaky little Malik Willis revenge game. So I'm taking Tennessee with the points. And that'll take us to the 4:00 slate. And Panthers Raiders, which might be my worst game of the week. At 5.5.
Raiders don't
Raiders.
got too much in there. Don't really got too.
Yeah, I'm
much into this one.
I'm honestly kind of praying on the Panthers' downfall, but we'll talk about that next week about the Bryce Young situation. But
Yeah, I mean, look,
Yeah.
Andy Dalton back in the league somehow. He's back in his starting spot.
Somehow.
Yeah. He's got to be
Do
a
I think it
backup for
makes-
7 NFL teams.
Do I think it makes a difference? No, I still think the Raiders blow them out. Panthers are just not a good football team.
Ravens Cowboys, great fucking game of the week.
America's
At
game of the
Dallas.
week.
This is Lamar's first time ever playing at Dallas. This is gonna be a really fun one. I love Henry to get in today. I don't know, it's crazy how the Ravens are also 0-2. They were planning to be in the Super Bowl last year. Now they're out here losing the fucking Raiders at home too. I think Harbaugh got the boys fired up on the road trip. I think it's straight business over there. I love Ravens on the money line.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I'm going to take the Ravens money line too. And the Cowboys didn't look good last week. They paid Dak a lot of money, and he did not look good last week. Yeah, I mean, the Ravens start off the year 0-2. That's something they definitely didn't think was going to happen. And that loss against Las Vegas last week was definitely a shocker. I think they come back firing. Lamar has a big game. Henry definitely gets in. Yeah, I'm taking the Ravens money line.
Yeah, there's a stat that's pretty much going to sum up my pick. I think the Ravens are, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's now like 20-1 versus the NFC. The only loss being to the
NFC.
Giants.
Damn right.
Short road favorite screams a Ravens big win, but I do think the Cowboys will keep it a little closer than they think. But also, that Cowboys defensive line, miserable defensive line. Outside of Parsons, there is nothing. And I said this in my video that I made about the Cowboys offseason grades. If you're going to lose your defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn, he's going to take all those sacks off the board. You have to find a way to replace them. They didn't do that. Mozzie Smith looks like a bust. I don't think there's any way that the Cowboys will be able to hinder the Ravens rushing attack today. So I'm all over the Ravens -1.
Yeah. I expect a big game for Justice Hill on third down in the passing game. I think they run him. I think on third down they throw him in. They'll put him on the side of Micah, and just when Micah rushes upfield, he'll slip out through the back, and there's a little dump off for Hill. So yeah, expect a big game for Justice Hill.
And for as good of a quarterback as Lamar is, his average depth of target is pretty close to the line of scrimmage, so he does love those dump offs. We'll move on. We'll go to 49ers, Rams. Big spread, a little bit bigger of a spread than I anticipated. 6.5 for the Niners.
Very disrespectful for anyone to be that high versus Sean McVay.
Yeah, but we do know this is basically a pseudo home game for the 49ers. It will be packed with Niners fans, so I mean, this would normally be a game we go on and on and on about, but everybody's out. Every single player is out. This is Brock Purdy and Matthew Stafford with a squad of scrubs at wideout, with the exception of Ayuk. I took the Niners 6.5. I want to say, yeah, Niners 6.5 here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also going to take the Niners in this one. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous that how many star players are out in this game. And it's kind of like unfortunate to watch just as a football fan. With that being said, that Rams team looked lost out there without their best players on the field. Stafford's a good quarterback. He'll get guys the ball, but that's not the question. It's more are his guys going to get open against this 49er defense? Because 49er defense is still healthy. And they're still good. So I'm going to take the Niners in this one. Hopefully a big Jordan Mason game.
Probably will be.
Hopefully,
Definitely.
This is Ayuk's time to literally step up, show why he got paid. So yeah, I'm taking the Niners in this one.
I think purely just on defense, I'm gonna go Niners with the points, but I don't see this one being like a 30-point win like last week versus Arizona or something like that. I think the Niners get it done from like anywhere from like 5 to 14-point win.
Yeah, one more thing I want to put out there before we wrap up on this game is Fred Warner. I know I pitched in the Aiden Hutchinson Defensive Player of the Year take, but Fred Warner needs to start getting some top consideration up there.
So fucking good. Yeah.
1 TFL, 1 sack, 2 forced fumbles last week, and a pick. The week before that, he had a fumble forced. He's just been a dominant force on all fronts. So, yeah, just look out for that. But what are we on now? The Lions and the Cardinals?
Mikey, you want to get us started with this one?
We'll let you kick this one off.
Well, let me tell you something. This team's not going to stop Kyler Murray in the run game. Now, they might be able to clog up James Conner on those inside handoffs and those zone reads, but quarterback runs have killed the Detroit Lions for years and years and years on end. Jared Goff's looked pretty miserable. And when you get a bad Jared Goff game, it's a bad Jared Goff game. So I don't see – and he threw the ball 55 times last week. That cannot happen. They need to ground and pound. This is what this team is made on. It's kind of like Michigan's college team. It's like all the Michigan football fans just rooting for run the ball. They need to feed Gibbs tonight. I don't think that the Cardinals have the horses to stop the run game. Also, backup tackle for Aiden Hutchinson again. Could be a 3-sack game.
That's going to be something to watch the entire game.
Yeah, how's that depoy take aging?
3-sack first quarter.
Yeah, I'm taking Lions -3. Obviously bias, but you two can.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
shit
also
on
taking
Detroit
Lions
now.
in this one. I'm taking the Lions in this one. The Cardinals that came out on fire on offense this year, but I just don't think their defense is good enough to stop this Lions offense. Like the Bucks at least they have a very good defense, and that's definitely what gave Detroit trouble last week. But I think Amon-Ra finally has a big game this year. I think Goff is going to find him a lot, but like what you said, they got to run the ball. You have 2 of the best running backs in the league. Ground and pound, take care of them in the run, and that'll open up Amon-Ra in the passing.
Yeah, I remember you guys coming at me week 1 after the Bills only beat them by 1, but this is actually like a solid football team. I think this team is much better than most of us thought that it was going to be preseason. I do think the Lions have just too much power for Arizona to stop. So I'm going to go Lions -3, and I love Kyler over 30 rushing yards.
One question I want to ask here is, with all the injuries in the NFC West, can the Cardinals win this division?
No.
Niners are still there. The Niners, they'll get healthy in hopefully 4 or 5 weeks with McCaffrey coming back and
I don't know, dude. Seattle, the Niners cannot lose early. They cannot lose early because Seattle.
I mean,
there's a solid chance that they're gonna be fucking 3-0. Who would have thought that? Now with Arizona, I don't know.
Look, this division just gets tougher and tougher. But with that being said, when it comes to the Niners, they are still very well coached and still have a lot of talent on their team, even without their 2 best players. Where I still think it's a little hard for the other 3 teams to kind of catch up to them. But I mean, look, we'll see. It's only week 3.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you guys. I don't think they'll win the division, but I do think this team will finish second. I think they'll finish above Seattle, and I think they might even sneak into a wild card spot. So, yeah, that's enough on this one. We'll head over to Miami-Seattle. Is that what it is? Yeah, Miami-Seattle. This game would have been a great game if Tua wasn't hurt. With Tua hurt, I like Seattle straight up. -4.
I think Vegas is making this game pretty obvious with Seattle -4.5, but I don't know. Preseason, everyone was hyping up Michael Daniels that he is like that top tier coach, but I don't know. I really haven't seen it yet, but I think this is a great test for him. No quarterback again, unfortunately, playing on the road, but they still have so much weapons, dude, and that defense is solid, but game plan against A-Chain, Hill, and Waddle was just insane. So I don't know. I'm leaning Miami 4.5, but I think Vegas is just telling us to take Seattle 4.5.
Yeah. I mean,
Drew.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what McDaniel does with Skylar Thompson this week. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the biggest problem right now for the Dolphins, and I think this week is going to show McDaniels in the front office if Skylar Thompson is going to be the guy for the rest of the year or not. Like, is he going to be the quarterback for the rest of the year, or are they going to have to go out on free agency and sign a veteran to kind of take over the reins until Tua decides if he wants to come back or not? But that being said, I'm still going to take Seattle on this one. I like the 4.5. Like you guys said, Vegas is definitely saying something. Seattle's hot. Two wins, back-to-back weeks. Started off 2-0. They're hot. JSN had 17 targets last week, 17 12 catches. So he is in my starting lineup this week. Hopefully he recreates that. But, yeah, I mean, if he's getting 17 targets, something's going well for that Seattle offense. So, yeah, I like the 4.5.
Want to hear my hot take on the Dolphins QB situation is that Andy Dalton's going to ball these next 2 weeks, and they're going to trade for him. The Panthers are going to be 0-4 or whatever, and they're going to trade for Andy Dalton because they're not going to deal Bryce Young. They're not going to make a deal for Bryce Young. I think they could sell Dalton high.
Did you see they got 4 trades for Bryce Young to know to all of them? That would be very, very stupid for them to trade Bryce Young. But we need to talk about this next week. What's going on with those quarterbacks? And they just signed Huntley, Pro Bowl Tyler Huntley.
We got one more games before best bets. Then I have one start, one sit for fantasy, so that'll be quick. Chiefs Falcons is a masterful Sunday night game. Just gonna flat out say it. I like Kansas City.
Yeah, I mean, right before I hopped on the pod, I saw a post about this Falcons game. This might be the most influential game the Falcons have played in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Arthur Blank is getting inducted into the Falcons Hall of Fame tonight, and they are giving out free hot dogs, free popcorn, and free drinks to every single attendee at this game. So, place is going to be rocking.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
This up how far of a drive I am.
But with that being said, still taking Chiefs -3.
Dude, this Atlanta has been fucking tested so far. They've been playing some ugly wins. Pittsburgh game was ugly. They lost that. They didn't come out on top. But that was the first game. They have a ton of new names. New head coach, new quarterback, ton of new names. Then last week was such a gritty win versus Philly. Dude, I love Atlanta +3 here. Check those out too. I don't know if the way they played in that fourth quarter was fucking scary. If they could play that for 60 minutes tonight, I'm more confident they could get it done.
This was easily one of the tougher spreads to pick, in my opinion.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. This game I think is going to be electric. I think it'll be a great Sunday night football game where we can melt, we can watch the game, and watch good football for 60 minutes.
Yeah. That concludes the slate for that. We got getting some props real quick.
Games?
Dude, did we really? I mean, if you want to talk about, if Ash wants to talk about the Bills, you can talk about the Bills. But dude, those Monday night games suck.
Nah, I think Buffalo gets it done, but I don't know. I think for a 10-point win, I have a lot of thoughts to share on Lawrence next week, so I'll save that for that.
Yeah, I mean, just a quick pick before we move on. I'm just going to take the Bills and Bengals, both easy picks. Cincinnati looked like they bounced back after week 1 last week with a good fight against Kansas City. Commanders just aren't good. They got.
I'm going to Washington +9 though. I like Washington +9. I think that's going to be an absolute snooze fest.
Yeah, I think
they don't have a bad defense, Washington.
They don't have a bad defense.
I can't really reiterate enough how their Mickey Mouse win last week.
Fuck that. That fucking Giants money line.
It was a Mickey Mouse win, and I'm still taking the Bengals.
I'm going to take the Bengals too, just because I think their offense is going to get a roll in a little bit more. Plus, T. Higgins will be in the lineup, so simple Bengals and the Bills should cover, in my opinion.
One thing we didn't mention for that Texans game, which I just remembered, was there's no Joe Mixon and there's no Dameon Pierce.
No Joe Mixon. It's Cam Akers season over there.
So Cam Akers is the starting running back this week, and
Yeah, they're going to be slinging it tonight.
He
Anyway,
might be a guy before.
More than
I
15
know we're about to
minutes.
get into fantasy. He might be a waiver pickup depending on how he does this week.
Yeah, that would be a great pickup.
Yeah. So
Should we start off with best bets?
let's get some best bets. I got 4 player props that I want to get into. I'll start and just list off my 4. Quick little explanation. Alvin Kamara over 71.5 rushing yards. He's been dominant on the ground. I think this line's just too low in a game that I think should be pretty close, and I think they'll be able to hand the ball off effectively. So give me Alvin Kamara on this line. Justin Jefferson, I feel like another low line. I don't think Derek Stingley is a high enough level corner. Plus, Darnold and him been kind of missing on their targets. He's been seeing 7 a game. He's only caught 4 of them in both. I think that gets cleaned up a little bit this week. So give me Jefferson 80 plus this week. As I said before, the Lions cannot stop rushing quarterbacks. So Kyler Murray, who's been going for 50 plus a week, 35.5 just seems a little bit low and disrespectful. So I'll take that over. And my sneaky Sunday night pick, Ray McLeod over 31.5 receiving yards. He's been seeing some volume.
He's been getting targets, and he runs deep ass routes.
Yes, he's quick. He's quick out there. His depth of target is pretty high. So give me Ray McLeod.
In Atlanta, dude.
I also think this Chiefs Atlanta game is going to be a lot more high scoring. Honorable mention is I wanted to throw out Travis Kelce 50 plus. I'm not going to put it as a best bet, but it's a play I was looking at and eyeing for Sunday night. Ush?
yeah.
I hate doing touchdown scores as like a lock of the week, but I think Derrick Henry at minus 120 is an absolute steal. And I'll say my 4. I think this is the first game Caleb really lands. I like him over 209 passing yards, and give me a Najee over 54.5 rushing versus LA.
Yeah, I mean my touchdown bet, and you could get him at plus 700. I'm going with the Tampa Bay defense today against Bo Nix. I think Tampa Bay has a pick 6 today.
What are those odds?
And plus 700. They're actually kind of low, to be honest.
Good.
That might be a little.
Going out a little long shot, right?
Yeah, a little long shot.
Go on that, honestly, because look, Bo Nix, he throws the ball a lot. He's not an accurate quarterback. This Buccaneers defense is good. I think they
I want to say one more thing about that game. I think there's a chance that Denver can make it a really ugly game, and Tampa can't play like good ugly football. So I don't know. I'm kind of feeling Denver with the points little now. I don't know.
Another best bet for me, which I know this line is low for a reason, but Tyreek Hill's line is only 63.5. And whether Skylar Thompson is at quarterback or not, they're still going to feed him. And I think that is a free line, honestly, with a guy with his talent and his pedigree in the league. So just keep an eye on that line as games start in the next 10 minutes. But, yeah, I like Tyreek Hill minus 63.5, Buccaneers defense. I would say those 2 are my best bets.
All right. Yeah. I was eyeing that line too. Skylar Thompson. Just couldn't trust him enough to throw it in. But fantasy start sits. We could wrap this up around 40 minutes. We're at 38 right now. I have 1 start, 1 sit. Zamir White versus Panthers team. Just beat the dead horse. Just put him in the lineup. He's going to go for 100 and probably have a touchdown. Honestly, anybody could be playing. Honestly, Drew, you could suit up for running back right now, and you would probably go for a solid 65 and a touchdown against this Panthers defense. No Derek Brown. That's a killer for this Panthers defense that was already weak. Lost a lot of run defenders in free agency, Reddick and Luvu. So, yeah, Zamir White, easy start. And a sit for me, Jerome Ford. I think the Giants defense is stout. I really do. I think that up front they're tough, and I don't think that the Browns are going to win this game by running the football. So I also don't think he's going to get in. I think it's going to be a lot of field goals, a low scoring. Cleveland win, so I would keep Jerome Ford on the bench and start Zamir White.
Yeah, my start is Xavier Worthy. I don't know. I don't see like Sam J. Pirine or Carson Steele getting like 10 carries or like, but I don't know. And they've been using him a lot on like the Jets and Browns and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't have to sit him. I'm sure.
Yeah, my 1 start this week is gonna be Jawan Jennings with that's if you need a flex guy, and which honestly a lot of people do with most of their players hurt because everybody's hurt right now. But yeah, I think Jennings definitely steps up into a big wide receiver two role this week, and he makes a lot of big plays even when Debo's in that lineup healthy. So I like him to start. Sorry, let me see. I'm gonna sit DeAndre Swift this week. He really hasn't shown too much to me in the last 2 weeks, and the the Colts defense, they have to step up this week, and I just don't really see a lot out of Swift.
Yeah, I've been saying it with Swift until he puts his shoulder down. He's just not that good of a running back. He's a great receiving threat, but I think Caleb's getting more rapport with his wide receiver, so I do really like that. As I have EJ Moore in my lineup this week, so I kind of need that. But if you guys have anything else, we are getting dangerously close to kickoff.
Dangerously
We
close.
are less than 10 minutes away from kickoff. Wish you guys both luck in your fantasy leagues.
Likewise.
Except
Thank
you,
you.
Byrock.
Oh,
If you
so-
lose.
So not both of
Oh,
us.
sorry. No, not both. I actually despise you in fantasy, so I hope you lose.
Yeah, people tend to hate winners.
Shut the fuck up.
I feel like a lot of green slips are due today. Everyone's been having a little rough start. I think today we just finally fucking get it together, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I also am down for a squad ride tonight. It's long overdue.
Well, a squad ride tonight is long overdue,
Right.
long overdue. But that
we,
should wrap us up, right?
Should we do a little virtual electric chair Thursday night?
Thursday night. What game is that?
Cowboys.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a
Might
good
not
game.
last long, but
That's a great game. That's a great fucking game. That's electric chair, but I'm actually turning the switch on. But thank you guys for watching, I guess.
Yeah.
Now, look, quick one. Quick picks coming out. Thank you guys for watching. We'll have another episode out this week, hopefully. But
Birds us on TikTok. Birds us IG about to get active. Birds us Twitter could get
Bird's
active.
IG.
Twitter
Twitter is getting active. The IG is going to happen. Will probably be made either today or tomorrow. I will get on that. But follow the socials.
And the YouTube Shorts has been dominating low key. So thank you guys for watching.
Buy Bird's Nest stock now. Come on, please.
Yep. Thank you guys
Buy
for
the
watching.
dip. Buy the fucking dip.
Yep. Have
All
a
right.
great Sunday, boys. Have a great Sunday.
God bless. Go Bills.
Let's go, Lions!